Okay, so I'm going to do a short tutorial video about constructing a three-prong thesis statement. This thesis statement will help you to create the roadmap for your paper, for your argument, and it'll really help make your writing very clear and focused. To start with your thesis statement, you have to think about, what do I want to write about? What is the argument that I want to make in my writing? That is going to be an important part of your thesis. So if I wanted to write about our culture and the fact that it's considered to be a melting pot, but I don't really believe that it is, I would have, okay, so my idea for writing is our culture, right? Being a melting pot, being actually supposedly a melting pot, right? Because you want to have an argument. You don't want to just make a claim that can't be supported. Your thesis it has to be supported through evidence. So our culture being supposedly a melting pot, but my argument that I want to make is that it's not, right? It is not. Okay, so this is my argument. But it's not enough just to say that our culture is not a melting pot. You have to be able to provide evidence for that. So if I really wanted to think about, why do I believe this? Why do I believe that our culture is not truly a melting pot? I would have to try to think of like 3 different reasons, at least 3, to make a very solid essay on why this isn't the case. So I'm going to say that it's not the case because of socioeconomic status, I also believe that it's not the case because of our political investments, okay? So different people, different individuals have different political investments. And then a third reason, just to make sure that this is very well-rounded and very well supported, is that there's racial identifications, right? There's different identifications based on individuals. Okay, and then, all right, so my claim is going to be that our culture is supposedly not a melting pot. Sorry about that. And our argument is going to be supported by discussion about socioeconomic status, political investments, and racial identifications. And it's all going to point towards this idea that our culture is not a melting pot. That's the significance. Okay, so now that we have talked about how to kind of arrange our ideas as far as what our topic is going to be, and making sure that we have 3 solid points, points of support for our thesis, we actually want to construct that thesis statement. So using the same information from before about our culture not being a melting pot, there's a 3-prong, basically like an equation that you can use to create a solid thesis statement. That equation is your topic plus the claim that you're making, which is going to be based on 3 factors or supported by 3 factors, and all of those things are going to lead into your significance. That significance is the answer to the so what question. So if I get done reading your essay and I say, okay, so what? I should have that answer. I should know why your topic and your claim is significant and important, and why it's relevant. Okay, so using this equation, basically I have this really long statement here, and we're going to break it down together. Although our culture is considered a melting pot, there are still categorizations that group individuals together, such as socioeconomic status, political investments, and racial identifications. These categorizations hinder our culture from truly being a melting pot. Now, I know that this statement seems extremely, extremely long, and you will find that when you construct a three-pronged thesis statement that it is a very, very long sentence. However, it's grammatically correct. It covers all the bases that you want to cover in your paper to really have a solid, supported argument. Okay, so if we were to use this equation for creating a solid thesis statement, topic plus claim, based on your three factors or the three supporting details, and it leads to significance, we're going to dissect this statement. So our topic is that our culture is considered a melting pot. And the claim that I'm making is that there's still categorizations that group individuals together. Okay, so this is my claim. The three factors or categorizations is one thing that I like to call them too, is socioeconomic status, political investments, and racial identifications. One thing that I've told students before is to label them A, B, and C. Those are your three factors. And then your significance, the significance in this statement is that these categorizations hinder our culture from truly being a melting pot. So this is the significance. So if you take a look, all of this equation is covered. I have my topic, which leads into my claim. So topic plus claim, supported by your three factors, A, B, and C, and it all leads to this significance.